I'm gonna test your memory. I'm not gonna even tell you what to memorize. Just look at the cards as they go by, all right? You with me? I'm gonna take some cards, put these away. This will be your long-term memory. We'll get back to that in a second.
Can
You
I
with me?
hold it?
Long-term memory. Leave it right there. Leave it right, don't let them fall. That's okay. Just leave them right, that's fine. What is the card underneath here? Or red or black?
Black.
Oh, you're very good. You think you're impressed now, wait till you see the rest of it. You ready? Which one?
Red.
Red over there? Oh, look at that.
Oh!
Oh my God. All right, red.
You know why this is working?
Red.
That's because you're not trying.
Red.
Name 4 in a row. Just go boom, 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 boom.
Red, black, black, red.
Red, black, black, red. Red.
Red.
Black.
Black.
Black again?
Black.
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 And what?
Red.
You're a freak. What happened from the very beginning? You put what in your pocket?
The cards.
Oh, God. Good long-term memory. Good long-term memory. Now, without looking, don't look.
No.
There's a number of red cards in here. How many red cards are inside of here?
5.
5 red cards. You ready for it? Look. Nothing sneaky, nothing fancy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and frickin' 5. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. Congratulations. You're the man. I can't top that. Welcome to Offworld, which is, in one word, brilliant. Or I should say 3 words. Brilliant. It's by J P Vallarino from France, who's created a way to do out of this world with one pile, and you reveal the cards to be correct each and every time instead of a delayed gratification. So instead of having a pile of reds and a pile of blacks and you reveal them at the end, they're correct over and over and over again, and they can see that they're correct without having to wait. It's bloody fantastic.
So I'm sure by now you've got your Offworld package, you've opened it up. Obviously you've had to, because here's the instructions for this video. And on the inside you've got your card box. I've already taken my card out, but you're probably going, hey, what's the deal? It's not set up. Well, there's a reason for that. And the reason is, this is the opportunity for you to do so if you want to mark your cards. Now, this marking isn't going to tell you what card is red or black, but it is going to tell you the orientation of the spray, which is absolutely important. And the reason why it's important is if you are performing and you place the cards down, and for whatever reason, maybe a spectator touches it or does something weird and the cards now get disoriented, you don't want to spend a bunch of your time trying to figure out, oh, which way is the spray? Trust me, I've done that. It's not fun. It takes a really long time to do it. So this is going to save you from doing that. Essentially what you're going to do is you're going to take either a red pen or a red marker, and you're just going to go ahead and put a little notch on the card. Let's take a closer look at the marking system that we recommend you use for Offworld. It's a really simple marking system. You're just going to take a Sharpie marker or a pen, whatever is your preference. You're going to feel and touch the side that is smooth. So essentially what you're going to do is just feel here. Can you feel it? Nope. It's actually down here. Can you feel it there? If you can feel the roughing pattern here, you're going to want to mark the smooth side up here. Alternatively, if you feel the roughing pattern up here, you're going to want to mark the smooth side here. And the marking is simple. You're just going to take a red marker or a red pen, whatever you prefer, and color in that little dot. Now you've got, make sure it dries. Now you've got one side that will tell you that this back side is smooth, this back side is rough, and on the other side you're going to know that the roughing is here and the smooth side is down here. Also, you don't have to use this marking system. In fact, you don't really have to use any marking system if you so choose. Some people just don't like to have marking at all on the back of their cards. This is just a really easy way to help figure out the orientation. But you can use whatever marking system you want. If you prefer to have like these up here marked, or you know, like some of these little, I don't know what they're called, these little birds in the center circles marked, you can do that. It's up to you. Do whatever you like. This is just what we recommend, what we've done on the video, and what we've tried and tested and seems to work for us. But doesn't mean that that's the best way. If you find you've got a better solution, go with it. I think it's pretty obvious, and I think it goes without saying, but just in case somebody misunderstood, I don't want you to ruin your cards. Don't mark the side that is roughing spray. You only want to mark one side. That's the side that's smooth. Roughing spray. Don't mark that side. Pretty simple. Again, this will be very helpful for you once if ever the order of the stack is disturbed. This is going to be a really helpful way for you to get back into the proper stack order. The way these cards are going to be starting off, they're going to be generally new deck order. There may be a couple cards that are moved around a little bit, but generally you will have a full deck. You'll have all your blacks first, then you'll have a bunch of diamonds and clubs and hearts at the end. What you should do is you're going to take a break between all the reds, put them down, all the blacks, and then all the reds again. So essentially you're going to put all the reds in one pile, all the blacks in one pile. Now the way it's started right now, right out of the box, the orientation of the spray should be all exactly the same. So just by feeling it, I can tell that this is the rough side here, and I could tell that by when I put some pressure and try to slide, you can see how they all kind of clump together. So I can tell that this is all the rough side here. So I'm going to rotate this and just go through and mark all my cards right down here. Again, this is what Greg Wilson does, and he found it very useful for just in case something happens, something just seems to be disoriented or misoriented, I should say. And this is how you get back into order. So you're going to go through and you're going to go ahead and mark all these. I'm not going to spend any time just having you guys watch me mark them. Doesn't make sense to me. I think that's kind of silly when you can just do it yourself. Once you have them marked, you're going to go through and mark all the reds the same way. Find the side which is rough. I believe it's here. Yep, you can see how it just kind of clumps together. So this is the rough side. This is the smooth side. I'm going to go in and just mark all the smooth sides. So now anytime I need to figure out which is the orientation of the rough on the bottom, I just know to look for that little mark. Super simple. Now that you've got it like this, you've got all your cards marked. You've got them red in one pile, black on the red on one pile, black on the other, I should say. You're going to want to give them a mix, so that way they appear to be in a shuffled state, right? The last thing you want to do is start spreading out your cards to show your spectator that they're non-gimmick, kind of trying to prove, look, all these cards are normal, and then they seem to be in some sort of sequential order. You don't want that. So what I would suggest is at this point you will shuffle them. Just give them a bit of a shuffle here. You can I probably wouldn't do a riffle shuffle. Just some couple overhand shuffles will do. The reason I say don't do a riffle shuffle is that it can lead to it wearing out over time. That's not something you want. So again, you don't have to mark the cards. It's completely optional if you decide not to mark the cards. A lot of people don't like to use marked cards in any way. You can do that. It will be a little bit more of a pain in the butt if you happen to disorient or misorient your cards, but that is an option. That's why we left them unmarked, to give you, the consumer at home, the final say so on what you want to do. So now that you've got your cards marked or unmarked, you've got your cards shuffled in alternating or in red and black piles. The next step is simple. You're going to, so right now I've got cards spread out. I've got roughing spray on this side, and then if I go here, cards spread out, I've definitely got roughing spray on this side as well. You're going to want to orient them. So if you've got roughing spray on the reds on this side, you want the blacks to be on this side. So I'm going to rotate it now, and now I've got the roughing for the reds to be facing towards camera. I've got the roughing for the blacks facing towards me, and then you're just going to alternate. You're going to take one and the other. Take one And then obviously you can go as fast as you want. I'm just gonna take my time, and you just do this all the way through. And if you want, you can stop. Essentially, this is what is going to happen. Let me just put a couple more. After getting about a stack about this size, I would say just go ahead and test it out. Take your card, put some pressure on one side of the roughing, and slide it over. You'll see that it'll be one color. Try it on the other side, it'll be red. Cut somewhere in the middle, and see if the same pattern occurs. And it should, all the way down. No matter where you cut, same principle should be in effect. In any case, now that you're here, you're going to want to continue alternating colors, right? Just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. All the way to the end. You don't have to watch me do this, but you can if you want. Just be careful that you don't accidentally put two of any one color together. Otherwise, you'll have to fish it out, fish the offending card out. But that looks pretty good. The bottom card, or the top card I should say, should be red. Good. So now I have a full deck in ready to go order. So now that you've got all your cards in sequential alternating order, they're all, the spraying is all on the proper side. You've decided whether or not you are going to mark it or not. These cards are good to go. You can go ahead and start playing with this, coming up with your own routines. Greg is now going to walk you through a couple really fantastic routines that he came up with, him and David Grippenwald. I love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It takes something fun and really gives it a whole lot of energy. Stay tuned for that. I think you're going to love it.
Okay, let's have some fun. I'm going to test your memory. And I'll just do it for the cameraman. I'll do it for George. George, I'm going to have you look at the cards. I'm not going to even tell you what to look for. Just look. And again, I'm going to test your memory, so don't try to remember anything. Just keep your eye on all the cards. You can see every single one of the cards, all right? Now, here's what makes this so fascinating. This over here will be the long-term. That's your long-term memory. This over here is your short-term memory. I'm going to ask you what you think the top card is underneath here, red or black?
Red.
The red, that would be the black. And here's why. You were trying too hard. That was your conscious level of awareness. If you try it unconsciously, just let it go. Just let it go. What do you think the next one is?
Red.
The next one, red? You going with that?
Yep.
Bam. So you got it. See, you weren't trying hard. That's not brute force memory. That's unconscious memory. Keep going.
Black.
The next one would be black. You got that. Very good. You're proving how unconscious you are. This is fantastic. Red or black?
Black.
Next one being black. That would be black. You're on a roll.
Black again.
Black again. You've got some bragging rights going here. Keep going.
Red.
So I'm sure you're freaking yourself out. Keep going.
Red.
You have no idea how you're doing this. That's what makes it. Keep going.
Black.
Black, black, black. Now let's just do 4 in a row. 4 in a row. Boom, 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 boom.
Black, red, black, black.
Black, red, black, black. There's black. There's red, there's black. Come on, you're freaking me out that you're freaking yourself out. And again, that's short-term memory. What did I do before I started?
You put some stuff in a box.
I put some cards in a box. Good long-term memory. Let's take it one step further. How many red cards do you think are in the box? I'll give you a hint. I know it's between 1 and 5.
2.
2 red cards in the box. Let's see what we got. There's 1. And there's 2. There you have it. 2 red cards in a box. Congratulations, you're amazing. Oh, did you actually need to see? I thought we proved it earlier, how brilliant you were. There it is, 2 red cards in the box. That's the big finish. Congratulations. You probably don't even know how you did it. So don't even ask yourself how you did it. I think you just fooled yourself. What's this right here? I fooled me. I can't believe I fell for that. What's that? Oh my gosh. Anyway, there you have it. Okay, now for the method that was routine by myself and one of my brainstorm partners, David Grippenwald. There's many different reasons I think you'll like this routine. For starters, the cards never touch the table, so the roughing surface is going to last much longer. The only card that ever touches the table is a joker. I should also mention the cards are face up, so there's this instantaneous gratification. Each and every time you pull back the top card, they see that they're correct over and over and over and over again. There's no delayed gratification of the cards placed on the table in piles and then revealed afterwards. You've lessened or minimized the possibility of a double lift being exposed. You're not going to suffer from split ends because they're immediately going from the top to the bottom, top to the bottom. And because of that, they don't know how many cards that you're doing. So it doesn't look like you're going through the whole deck. You don't have to even emphasize that. You're just going based on the attention span of the audience. You can see when they're starting to wane. And from there, and the biggest advantage of all, we think, is the big finish, where you've got the number of cards that you placed for their long-term memory in the box. So it gives it a big finish. It gives it a climax. It gives it a denouement, just to prove how bad my French actually is. So from the very beginning, here's what we got. The Joker is on the top. And if it's facing me, notice the Joker dude is facing me. Well, that means that I'm in the perfect, correct orientation. The next card is obviously going to be a black, and because this has no rough smooth on it, that slides off nice and easy. I should also mention that the older I get, the less moisture I have in my hands, so I don't want to be licking up like a panther in the wild, but you know, people aren't really going to notice that much. I just give it one of those before I spread the cards, but if you want, you can take a little repositional glue, and you only need it on this finger, all right, as you spread through. That's going to allow you to pull the cards back with a surety. There's some great stuff out there. It's a combination of rose glycerin and some other secret ingredients called Magician's Choice. It's fantastic, and I wish I had it with me. That said, the beginning of the routine is, I want you to look at the cards. I'm not going to tell you what to look for, just look. Don't say just lick. That's not part of, no, that's not. Just keep doing this. Now, if you get a big clump of cards where there's a bunch of blacks, that could happen. There could be a bunch of reds by the way you spread it. See all these reds right here? Red, 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 red. If you want, just separate it. So they don't see a bunch of reds or a bunch of blacks. Just make it look like they're totally and completely separated. Having said that, the presentation is I want you to see all the cards. And again, I don't want you to, and this is the presentation. You say, I want you to look. I'm not going to tell you what to look for. I want you to memorize the cards, but not the way you see. Actually, you might not even want to mention memorize yet. Just say, I want you to look at the cards. I'm not going to tell you what to look for. What I'm looking for, though, is the 10. Notice the cards are in exact order, alternating red and black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't have to do that. That's for a certain reason that I'll show you later. But what I am looking for is the 10. There's 10 cards in, boom, 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 to 10. That will happen every time, regardless if you use the sequential order or not. It will always be a 10 at the 10th position. So when I spread through the cards, I explain it. I want you to look. I'm not going to tell you what to look for. Just keep looking. When I get to that 10, I'm going to put my fingers here like this, so I always know where that is, and spread the rest of the cards. Now, I'm going to square those up at the 10. I'm going to square these up on those cards. I'm going to take these 10 cards, I'm going to place them in the box as I talk about long-term memory. And I place those aside. We'll get back to that in a second. Don't even make a big deal about it, because the joke later is, remember what I did? And this is after the first phase. Remember what I did at the very beginning? They go, oh yeah, you put the cards in the box. Ah, great long-term memory. And each time you do that, they get a little attaboy. They feel really good, the fact that they got red, black, 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 red. And then they even remembered how many cards are in there. And at the very end, they remembered how many red cards were in there, all below the threshold of their awareness, so they're impressing themselves all throughout. I do all the work, they get all the credit. So, with that in mind, remember the orientation of the Joker facing me. That means I'm in the perfect orientation. And if you want to do one last pre-check, I know that this little mark is a black because it's facing the audience. It's facing the audience. This one here is red, obviously, because the mark here is facing me. So I remember the pointing mark is facing them, the Joker is facing me, you're good to go. You should never have to look at the mark. That's just for extra impunity if you're doing a TV show, right? But the Joker should be reset each and every time just like this. So now, the first one I say, what do you think the card is under here? And remember, and you talked about memory and all that stuff. And if they get it, you say, congratulations. You got it, it was black. If they say red, you go, oh, that's too bad. The reason you missed is because you were thinking too hard. You were using your conscious level of awareness. This time use your subconscious, or if you want, you say you're unconscious. I like using the word unconscious. A, it's a little bit more accurate. And B, after about 3, 4, 5 cards, you say, look, you're perfectly unconscious, which is a funny line to say if they're drinking and all their buddies, rag on them. So you say, oh, very good. And if you want, you can say, oh, you missed it that time. This time, get in touch with your unconscious self. Just relax. Om. And if they do that, it's kind of funny if they follow along. So what would the next card be under there? Now this glue is starting to wear off, so look over there. You didn't see that. So what's the next one here? Red or black? George?
Red.
Red. I know it's going to be anything you want, just to be sure that you understand how this gimmick works. Right now, that's a single card. That's not a double. It didn't require the rough and smooth, because the alternating card, remember, is always red, black, red, black, red, black. The only time, what do you think now, if you said the next one was red, I would push like this, that's a double, because of the rough smooth. If I want that to be red, every time the next one is the same color that's on top, it's always a double, right? If it's going to be a black, you know the next one's going to be a single, right? If the next one's going to be black, remember it was black here, the next one's going to be black, that's going to be a double. If the next one's going to be red, look, that's a single. Now here's how I do it, and here's how it's easy to remember. If you put your finger here, that's going to be the same card that's below it. That's red. If you put your finger here, it's going to be a single. It'll be a black card below it. Remember, that's a single, that's a double. That's how the rough and smooth works. And notice, by the way, I did this and another card showed up below it. That shouldn't happen if you have the proper grip in your hand with an opposing pressure or tension from these fingers going this way, this thumb pad going this way. You want to make sure it's just not so hard that it looks like you got a death grip and you're trying to fight it and over control it. It looks suspicious. You also don't want it so light that a fan occurs. So you get just the right amount of pressure. So again, I can make that red or I can make that black. Again, I can make that red, and I don't know why that's happening right there. There we go. And even if it happens, it doesn't matter. No one's going to remember underneath, or you can say, oh, the red was exposed. You saw that, and get rid of it. Either way you want, but it shouldn't be a problem because you're going fairly brisk. So that one's red over there. Obviously the next one's red. You saw it, it was red. I'm gonna let you have that one. So maybe that's the way to get out of it. This one's black, they say. And I should also mention, don't put your finger like this. Remember, that's the demarcation. That's the halfway point. You're going to put your finger here or here. Not way down here. That's too obvious a difference than over here. So obviously that half is going to be red. This half is going to be black, right? So that's going to be red. This is going to be black because that's a double. So here's two things to keep in mind. For starters, a memory aid or tool for me is I say red ahead and the black is back. The red is ahead, the black is back. And under fire, in the moment, that will really help for you to remember that. So black is back. If I want to show black underneath it, I know it's this half back towards me. Black is back. Now notice where I'm putting my finger. It's the difference between here and here. Not way over here, not way over here. And instead of the tip of your finger, use the pad of your finger. So right now my finger's parallel with the deck and it's really hard to tell, how far up my finger's going. If somebody notices that, they're a persnickety son of a gun and they deserve to win. You might as well just show them how the bloody thing works from the beginning. So having said that, that's gonna be black, that one's gonna be red. Now I do that, again, based on the attention span of the audience. It could be 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And then you say, just to make it look a little bit different and progressively more impressive, and you're going to up the ramp, you say, give me the next 4 in a row. Boom, 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 boom. What do you got? So they say red, red, black, black. So you go, there's red, there's black, and there's black, and they freak themselves out. And you say, that's just the short-term memory. You could have done every single one of these if you wanted. What am I looking for? The joker. So I can cut it to the top. So again, you could have done every single one of these if you wanted. Why do I cut the joker there? So I can place this on the table and not affect the roughing surface. It's just the joker. There's no treatment on that one. Then I say, remember don't pick that up yet. Say, and what did we do from the very beginning? They say, put the cards in the box. Oh, your long-term memory is amazing. Now, before I open this up, without looking, how many red cards do you think are in there? I know. I was counting. So the reason I say that is because why would I tell them between 1 and 5? Well, I have to tell them between 1 and 5 because there's only 5 red cards. So that's why you proffer or confess in advance so you know how many cards there are. So what would you say? If they say 1, let me just go over all the different possibilities. So obviously don't turn it over like this. Take them face down. And if they say 1, go to the middle, right? And because of this rough and smooth, look what happens. You can spread these cards and the red is the only one will show and the fan will all be black. Whoop, helps if they actually stay in there. So you do it face up here and you spread them out. I actually do it parallel anyway. You don't have to do it up here because that might do exactly what would happen. It was so loose it fell out. So these are all black, that's red. Now look over here. That didn't spread perfectly. That one didn't spread perfectly. So don't hold it too long for a Snapchat. This is not the time for a photo op. It's just a quick glance. Those are black, that's red. Put it in, and you're done after you put the cards on the deck. So it's just a quick glance. So if they want 2, there's 1, and there's 2. So here's what I'm doing. If I want 1, I'll push up, say, the 5. If it's 2, I'll push up, say, the 7 and the 5. I don't want them towards the end, so I wouldn't touch the 9. So it'd be a 5 and a 7. I'm glad I have these in sequential order, actually, because it's easier to teach. So now you're going to square those all up and make sure they're perfectly square. That's why I move this over a little bit, so I can put my finger right there on top. So I can square on lengthwise and widthwise, square that back up again. Now spread, make sure you get a good spread, and they can see black, 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 and 2 reds. Oh, and a black under there. Now, the beauty of this is that if they say 1, there's a whole bunch of cards that vanish. A whole bunch of red ones are gone. 4 red cards have gone missing. They don't know, though. They don't know how many cards you put in the box at the outset. So you're way ahead of the game. So that's 2. Push it in. You never have to take the cards out. They're right in the perfect order they need to be. And look down here. Put them right there, and you're reset for the next time. Because remember, that's the 10. 10 is 10 cards down. Now, say, for example, instead, look over here. Say they said 3 cards. I would take the 7, the 5, and the 3. That's an exposed view. Obviously, I'm doing it up here. Square them up. Remember, get the little square over here as well. And I say there's exactly 3. Spread them like this, and they see black. Oh, you know what? I'm glad I just did that. Look what I did wrong. I did this. I couldn't see. So that black one, I can move that 7 away so they can see the black. That's good. So they can see all those black ones. Here's what I did. I tried to spread that out a little bit more like this, and look what I did. You never want to touch that, so I'm glad I did that the wrong way. Just spread them out like that. So there's 3. If they say 4, you can do like this. You can do the 9, the 7, the 5, and the 3. That's not my preference, but you can do this. Spread them out, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are all black. You can do that. What I think I like to do, what I know I like to do, is get a break under the bottom 2. And as you're fiddling with the cards, just go boom, boom. You can feel it. Now come down here openly and show them you said 4. Look at this. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's exactly 4. 4 red cards exactly the way you said you would. Your memory is absolutely stunning. It's unbelievable. Most people use 10% of the brain. You're obviously using 11%. You use 12%, you'll take over the world. I just start babbling and blah, 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 but have a big finish. A boom. Have a boom at the end. An exclamation mark. Don't leave on a comma or an ellipses. If they say 5, do the same thing, but instead of get a break under the bottom 2, look at this. You said 5, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. 5 red cards exactly the way you memorized it. Don't say predicted it. Exactly the way you obviously knew. There's no stopping you. What are you doing here? You should be in Las Vegas. Blackjack, roulette, anything. Bam. Why? Go play the lottery. All right. Square the cards back up again. Leave them in their exact position. Put them away, and you're done. Now, if you want, the only reason these are in order is if you take the cards out and you put them on the box. A, you put them on the box so you don't mess up the roughing surface. And B, look at this. Say, oh, we'll do it up here. Say they said 3. 1, 2, 3. Take those out, place them on the box, and say, that's exactly 3, congratulations, because none of these are red. Those are the only ones that are red. Let them turn them over, and they see 3, and they're amazed. That's one way to do it. Or you could say, 1, 2, and 3, take a look. and they turn it over and they see 3 red cards, and you spread these out and you're done. You can do it either way. Or 3 red cards, congratulations. No, really, look, 3 red, look, say they're spread out like this. You can go 1, 2, 3. So A, you're putting them on the box, but this time you're doing it face up. Then you're coming over here and you're spreading these. Don't spread it that way for obvious reasons. Spread it that way. These are all black. Those are red. Now, the reason I put these in order, and they should never notice. If they notice 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, they're a freak. They're a Rain Man freak, and again, they deserve to have the secret. And if they really notice that these are the corresponding odd cards that go in between, trust me, it's not going to happen. The reason it won't happen is because they're thinking red, black, so their selective perception or inattentional blindness has been focused on only the colors. So why do I have these in sequential order? Look, there's 3, 2, 3, 4, there's 5, and you can do this on the offbeat, right in front of them, push them in, square them up, put them on top, put the whole thing away, and you are good to go. One last thing I should mention is that even the box is marked, so I know that this is the off-world box. Right down there, exactly the way I did the mark on all the cards. You can't do it up here because the stamp is in the way, so right down there I've marked it. At a glance, I can tell that's the right box, and you are off to the races with Off-World. Congratulations, have fun, and that's the routine by myself and the grip. Okay, this is a presentation about persuasion and influence. All I need right now is someone to persuade or influence. Hey, George.
Yes, sir.
Right this way. I know we get to see all of him, just his arm maybe, but this is the closest I get to a lovely assistant. Oh man, the key word is assistant. No. Oh no. That said, here's where the influence comes in, all right? I'm going to draw some circles here. And you're going to put in either B or R. I'll explain that in a second. For right now, just cut the cards. This is all part of the influence right there. Now, B means black, R means red. So you can put any one you want in there, a B or an R. Do not, whatever happens, do not let me influence you to put a B.
All right.
Or an R, but it's up to you. You can contemplate all you want, but you got 7 to go.
I'm going to put a
B, and this one here can be a B, or it's up to you. Oh, see? Oh, you went opposite, because I tried to influence you on the R. But maybe that was reverse psychology. Maybe it was double reverse psychology. Now that your mind's turned to mush, B or R?
R.
And again here, you can, oh, by the way, you can put R or R.
I'm not falling.
Or you can put B or B. Maybe you did fall for that. And the last 2, just go boom, boom. So it's like be right back. Okay, so having said that, let's see where you cut to. Okay, that's where I'll start. Okay, I'm going to ask, let's see, what's the first one? That's a B? That's a B, so that stands for black. Let's see how well you did underneath there. Joker doesn't count. Oh, you got it.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, that's 50-50. You could have got lucky. What's the next one?
R.
That one's an R? Oh, come on. That's better than 50-50. Don't ask me to do the odds. I'm an English major. What's the next one?
R.
You got another R? What's the next one?
B.
That's a B over there. Come on.
R.
You're freaking me out over here. What's the last 2?
Black and black.
Black and black. That would be black, and that one over there would be black. You are on a roll, and that's just a start. Now, wait, who gets the credit?
I do, of course. I wrote it down.
You get the.
I cut it.
So it's prediction or persuasion. Either I persuaded you or.
Oh, my head hurts.
I say we just share the credit.
That's fine by me.
It gets even better. Turn over that top card. Right where you cut to, it is a 4 of hearts. Turn over that paper and see what you got. The other one, since we needed a double sheet. Oh, come on. Come on, turn it to the camera. You're the director. You do all the work over there. Look at the acting. Oh, we didn't rehearse any of this. Who gets the credit? I wrote it. He cut it. We're a team.
High five.
High five. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, now for the explanation that was again devised by myself and David Grippenwald. And the reason I love this, because it looks like something that's measurable. It doesn't seem interminable. They don't think I'm going to go through all the cards when they see 7 circles. So in their mind, it's a sprint instead of a marathon. So with that in mind, the preparation is very simple. On one sheet, you put whatever card will be at the top. In this case, it's the 4 of hearts. And the reason there was a double sheet last time, because we knew we were going to do a performance and an explanation. And George wasn't very good at his double lift. He needs some work on that. That's what happens when you're a better director than you are a magician. So the 4 of hearts under there. The reason I don't use a Sharpie, because that shows through. Then you say, I'm going to try to predict you. It's a game of influence and chance. I'm going to influence you so you don't have a chance. You can say it that way, or you can say, I'm going to show you some based on prediction. I mean, not prediction, persuasion and influence. All I need is someone to persuade and influence. You look like a likely subject. You'll be perfect for this. So I draw a 7. The reason I do 7, I think 7's just about right. If you do 10, it takes too long. 5's not amazing enough. So try to measure it in your head as you go. So that's 3, 4. That's another reason why we did a double with this mat here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You just can't push too hard there. So after you draw the circles, you give him the cards, he cuts the cards. You're going to do a crisscross force like this. Now, for those who don't know, Joker is on the bottom for 2 reasons. Number 1, it touches the table. I don't want any of the treatment of the ruffian fluid to wear off. So that's on the bottom. The one I'm going to force is on the top. That's the 4 of hearts. So there's a great misdirective, a time misdirection here. So when they cut the cards, I mark the cut right here, and then I go into this. I don't want to do this first. I don't want to make it a card trick. Yes, I have cards, but if I started off with the cards, then drew the circles, I think it would just take too long. So I draw the circles first, have them cut the cards, come back to the circles, and they put B or R, obviously based on black or red. And it's fun to, George, I'm going to have you do it again, if you will. Sure. Yeah, so he's going to put B or R all the way down the line. And don't tell him what it's for yet. Just say B or R, that stands for black or red. So I don't want him going boom, 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 boom all the way down the line yet. So I say, so B, did you feel like you were influenced?
Not at all.
That's what makes it work. Next one here, B or R, B or R. Listen to the sound of my voice. B or R, B or R. Just have some fun with that. Let him think it's his own decision. This one can be R or R.
I'm going to go with B.
So you're opposite man. Oh, that could be B or B. Oh, you're not falling for that. Okay. Oh, you did go double reverse psychology. Double reverse. And the next 3 just go boom, boom, boom. Don't write actual boom.
I was about to.
B. And if it's B or B, you can have fun and say that's B right back, or you can say, bed and breakfast, blah, blah, blah. So again, that's black, red, black, and all the way down the line.
So you're just winging all this.
Yeah, because it really doesn't matter what they put down. What matters is that it feels like you're influencing them. Even if it's playful in the end, if you get them all right, it's not playful. It was real. So I would rather do something that happens between their ears, not just between my hands. So it's not just sleight of hand, it's psychological. It's 10 times stronger, which is why mentalism is so popular these days.
And it's definitely a lot of fun, just kind of bantering on, playing along with it.
I think it is.
It felt really good the first time.
And it feels fresh and spontaneous. Right. I don't do it the same way every time.
Right.
And also 7, if I didn't mention earlier, is the perfect number. 5's not enough. It could be a coincidence. 10 takes too long. I think 7's just about right. So just kind of measure everything so it goes on a row. Also, make the circles big enough so their letters are big enough. If you do these little ones, first of all, 7's only going to come to here, and they're going to draw it nice and small. Yeah. I also don't use, I think I mentioned this already, don't use a Sharpie. That'll show through, and I think you're good to go. So I think that's enough time misdirection.
I think it is.
So I'm going to pick this up, which will show a Joker here. And remember, this Joker is facing me like this. I'm looking him dead in the eye. So I know the next one is going to, here's another thing. This is very important to note. That's going to be either black or red. If it's black, I always know this is black and this one's black. That's how I always remember what's under here. Yeah. You can use a memory tool of this being the opposite. Since it's red, black, red, black, red, black, that can be black and that can be red. But for me, it's easy to remember black and black.
So you set it up this way.
I did set it up that way. The first one was always a black. So I've got a double lift. I feel it right here at the back. Mm-hmm. Since this is not rough and smooth, you can't pull back a double.
Right.
So as I'm talking, blah, 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 remember, I know that's a double. So if the next one's a black, or if that were a red, I'd pull back a double
Yeah.
and put that underneath. If it were black, I just do what I did before. Don't pull here. Don't lift up and pull. Just do what you're doing before to be consistent.
Sure.
That's black. Now, what you can do as well, you can say, look at all these. You got black, red, blah, 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 using the joker as a pointer and put that on the bottom. If this were a red.
Right.
All right, so let's just put a red there so you see what I mean. So say that's red there. I know it's red, but that's black. If I pull back, here's a way to avoid the double lift. I say, now look at all these. Black, red, black, all the way down the row. Your decision, your choice, all the way from the beginning to the end. Okay, let's see what's underneath this top card. You said a black? Look, there's a black.
Oh.
Okay, so you got
great.
it there.
I love it.
I prefer the double lift, but you can do it that way if you want. Next one's a red. Oh, wait a minute. Shoot. Oh, you know what? When I was setting that other one up, I didn't put it in between. So you know what? I'm glad that happened. There's two things you need to do. Very important. From the very beginning of the routine for your setup. Make sure it's black, red, black, red, black, red all the way. Turn it over and then make sure it's marked, no mark. So there's no mark there. There's a mark there. Mark, no mark, all the way down. So wait, no mark, mark, no mark, mark, no mark, mark, all the way throughout. So two things to check. Red, black first, and then make sure it's marked, no mark all the way throughout.
Got
all right? The reason that happens is because I put the one from the bottom to the top. Right. So, having said that, that's a black. The next one would be a red. And then I do the first three myself. Next one would be a black, like that. Oh, and the reason that didn't work, by the way, because I used the tip instead of the pad. So I was getting a little bit lazy and I didn't have the right grip. So from the beginning, that one's red. So where were we? So here's what I like to do for the first three. So say that red goes here. Let's do it from the beginning. Black, red, all the way through. So we got black. The next one, okay, the first three, let me mention, I'm going to call off myself. I'm going to have him call the last four. So I see that one's black. I know the next one is red. I know the next one is black. I know the next one is black. What are the last three?
Last three are red, black, red.
Red. And I'm kind of off to the side, so I really can't see it. That's why I'm asking. So it's red. It's black and it's red. Congratulations, you did it, you're amazing, but that's just the beginning. So you could say that, or you could say, well, whoa, wait a minute. Who gets the credit? Is it him or me? Do I get credit for persuasion or does he get credit for prediction? Just pause and wait for them to fill in the blanks. If you listen to the audience, they give you the best lines. So who gets the credit?
Me, of course.
See? Greedy bastards. Obviously, you get the best lines if you just... yeah, you did write it.
I did write it.
But the cards, maybe a random chance of the universe gets the credit because that's the way the cards were shuffled. Having said that, turn over the card that you cut to. And I like to do this too before you do it. I kind of put the cards down like this so it gives them a visual comparison about where the cards were. Four of Hearts. The question is, if you turn over that paper, who gets the credit again for that? Come on! And that's the Four Hearts.
Of course, because I cut to it.
But I wrote it. And so you can argue about it back and forth and have fun with that, or say, we're obviously a team, we work well together, we should go to Vegas, and blah, blah, blah. Just be careful who you invite to Vegas. At this point, I want to talk a little bit more about the setup and the reset. Remember, just like before, in both of the routines I've shared with you, the joker is facing me. Just like this, he's facing me, so I have eye contact with the joker. So when I place the cards down, that's the orientation. I don't want to turn them this way. I want to turn it this way. So it's looking at me like this. I place it down like this. So when they cut the cards, I'm keeping very cognizant of the orientation. They cut here, and I replace the cards this way, knowing as well that the joker is again facing me. We'll get back to that in a second. That's when they fill in all the letters. Boom, 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 boom. Now, when you pick up the cards, don't turn it end for end this way because the orientation is backwards. Now the joker is facing them. I want eye contact with me, so I pick it up and turn it this way. And then I go through all the process, the machinations with the row of letters, and then you have a choice. You can turn this over first and show the Four of Hearts. Then they turn over the card that they cut to. I prefer to have them turn over this card first and then this one second. Because I don't want to be about the cards, I want to be about the prediction. This is secondary, this is primary. That said, notice how they turn it over. If they turn it over this way, you turn it back over this way for the orientation, then replace the cards like this. Remember, the joker's there, so you place it the same way. If they turn it over this way, be cognizant of that. Turn it over this way, place the cards back that way, and you're good. Or, if you prefer, since that's the only card that touches, it's the only roughing surface that might get messed up on the table, you put the joker back this way, put this over there, put that in the box, and you are officially finished. So that's the more setup, and that's the reset. You're always good to go. You don't have to worry about the orientation, but just in case for an important show, make sure all the cards are red-black. And when you do this, this is very important first. I said this before, but I want to really emphasize this. When you test the cards, make sure you go red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black all the way through. Do this in the bathroom. Close the stall. Don't get caught. And don't say red, black, red, black. It sounds a little weird from the other side. So just red, black, make sure, be very clear it's red, black. If you're off by one, you're screwed, because when you check the orientation, secondly, when I say to myself, yes, no, yes, I see a mark, no mark, yes mark, no mark. If you're off by one card with that red, black, you're completely screwed with the orientation, and it's gonna be very difficult to recover midstream, and then it's really gonna be about guesswork, and you should have just used a regular deck. So. Here's another possible routine that you can do that I made up 2 minutes ago. Okay, I made a mistake and had to cut and redo it, so 3 minutes ago. This is a 3-minute-old routine based on one word, triumph. So here's what you do. You say, earlier I shuffled the cards. If I mix them up a little bit more, you can see how well mixed they are up now. So you got a black and a red and a black, red, black, 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 red, boom, boom. I could go through all the cards. I just want you to remember these top 10. Just remember those top 10. Watch the move. There's always a move. Boom, it's done. Did you see it? I did it. Underneath is black. Oh, put it over here. Underneath there, look, is black. Underneath that is black. They were red, black, just a little while ago. All black, all red, or I should say all black, all black, all black. And if you want, let's see where we go. Oh, that one's red. That one's red. A little bit. Then you do the next ones like that. That's red, that's red, that's red. And I'm going to leave that mistake in there so you can see how much you need to concentrate on several things. Number one, the right pressure here. Don't go too fast. The right position where you put it, the right lick, if you will, like this. And when you play with these cards, make sure, let's just say after so many performances, I don't know how many, you need to retreat the cards, all right? I've been practicing with this deck to death. That's why that's happening. So maybe 10 cards, 5 and 5 would be a good effect, or 6 and 6. So again, 6, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and they just saw that these cards were completely mixed up. That's 4, that's 5, and that's 6. So that's the first effect. You can stop at that phase, but I think it'd be good to go to the next color. So after you did about 6 or 7 red ones, you say, what about blacks? I'm glad you asked. Pull that one back here, in the back here, and remember, black is back, and it shows black. And there's all those are in a row. Now black, 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 and black, like this, and these cards are starting to lose their luster, but I've been practicing a long, long time with these black, 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 and black. So that's a way to do it as well. You're only doing 5 cards and 5 cards, but remember from the very beginning you showed all the cards were face up and face down. Something else to experiment with. I just think it needs a climax. I've only been doing it 3 minutes. Okay, now 4. Okay, now 5 minutes. Give me 6 minutes. Give me 1 more minute. This thing's going to be out of this world. I'd now like to share with you the original handling by J P Vallarino, and the way he reveals the cards one at a time, just like before, but turning the cards over stud style from a face down mechanics grip. So he turns the cards over like that. So the first one's going to be singular. We know that one's going to be red. You can place it under the deck. You can place it on the table. You can place it over here on top of the box so you don't mess up the roughing surface. So if I put, remember, red's ahead, black is back. So if they say red, I know that's going to be a double. And notice how this card pushes out. Makes it easier to do another red. Look, that pushes out as well. It's going to be easy to do another red. The way to let that happen, the way to allow that to happen is these fingers extend a bit. So every time I push like this, look what happens. Another one comes out. What if they said black though? This is the line of demarcation. I simply push black here, just kind of a loose grip. I like my pinky down here so I have more control. So that's going to be a black. If they say red, that's going to be single. If they say black, that's going to be single. They say red, that's going to be single. If they say red again, that's going to be a double. If they say black, that's going to be a single. If they say black, I push down here, that's a black. And it will be a double. Let's push over here, that's a double. They say black again, I square up because it's easier to push here than here. This one I have to push to the side. This one I can push at an angle. So they say black again. I leave my finger, I leave this deck up here a little bit, anticipating the fact they might say black again. They say black again, I'm here. They say red, I simply push red, that's a single. That's a single. That's from the very beginning, I should have said the whole deck should be up a little further because it's hard to get down there with my thumb. So I just leave it up here. They say black, I'm here. That's a single. That would be a double. That would be a double. Up here, that would be a single for a red. And notice how I'm turning them over stud style. So when I'm done, depending on how many cards that you use, you're putting them back the exact same way. So you can put these cards here to finish, or you can turn the cards over and put in here to finish. I should also mention that I always keep the joker on the top. So when I turn it over, either on the table or on the box as a single card, the next one that goes down, if it were a double, gets hidden very well, gets hidden very easily. So you're not stuck with the first two cards coming out that could split. So if you didn't have the joker and you turned over two cards as one, and that got split ends, you're, there's a word for it. Oh, you're screwed. You know, after a while, you might find out that the roughing treatment starts to fade and you might not have that same friction quality to give you the confidence and the impunity that this will work every single time. So it's your favorite magic dealer. There's a spray lacquer by Tester and you're off and running. Having said that, the best way to do it is to take a joker, cut it in half, place it on one of the cards and spray. You're going to do this obviously on the table. You can do it in a well ventilated area. You just do that for each and every card and you're good to go. If you want to be very industrious and efficient, just get a strip of wood that width, place a bunch of cards down on the table, do them all at once, and you'll be done before you know it, and you're ready to start freaking people out again. To finish things off, let me just say, I've known Jean-Pierre for at least 15 years. We've done shows together in France. Everything he does is fantastic. It's visually acrobatic. It's very fun. This one's not. It's not visually acrobatic, but it is fun and it is brilliant because, again, you're getting into the spectator's head. The cards do all the work. You get all the credit. And you know what? This is something I would do to fool magicians. I will take this to conventions with me. And it just, you know, I better hurry up because this is going to get popular real fast and everyone's going to know about it. So there you have it. Have some fun with Off-World, and we're off and running.
Thank you again so much for purchasing Off-World. This is really one of those effects that had a lot of people, really it's a communal effort that really helped to get the effect from where it was to where it is now, which I absolutely love. Really want to give a lot of credit out there to Patrick Wolford, who came up with the ingenious idea of this particular spray pattern, the alternating rough on the top, smooth on the bottom, and then also the stack, which is red, black, red, black, red, black, that really got us to the method where we're at today. And then I also want to make sure that we're crediting Gregory Wilson and David Grippenwald for their contributions as well. They actually came up with the clever routining that we featured on the trailer, where you have the entire deck turned face up. So it's not just a face up out of this world, it's the entire deck is face up. That was their contribution to it, as well as the three-phase routine, where it now has sort of a beginning, middle, and nice, beautiful end that really drives the effect home. Last but not least, let's not forget to thank J P Vallarino, who came up with this ingenious method. He spent hours upon hours perfecting and perfecting and perfecting to get it to where it is today. Obviously, we wouldn't have a product without you, JP. Thank you so much. And finally, thank you guys at home who have purchased this product. Thank you so much for spending the time to go through this DVD, watching it, learning all the intricacies about off-world. Really think that this is a super clever method. We've gone out and we tested it and performed it live, and you can see that we've got some really phenomenal reactions. We loved playing with it. We loved performing it. We love coming up with the ideas behind it. I know you guys are going to love all the effort that we put into this effect. So go out, have some fun, slay some minds, and enjoy. See you guys next time.